First of all, welcome to Dubrovnik. Welcome to NEM. What are your impressions so far?
Thank you very much. Well, it is as great as it was the last year.
Okay.
The weather is fantastic and the place is beautiful.
Is it hard to concentrate on work while here with this looking at you all the time?
Of course not. I love my work.
Let's talk about the panel.
Okay.
Is there a master plan to bring back the younger audience back to watching linear television?
Well, it is actually part of my contribution to the panel. I think the first question we have to ask, is there a need for a master plan, or in fact, is there an exodus of young viewers from watching linear TV? And again, the answer is different depending on which market you're looking at. But I think an emerging kind of common wisdom is that they don't really desert linear TV as such. They just consume the content differently. Sometimes they combine watching TV with, talking to friends on social media and
posting on Twitter and Facebook.
Sometimes they watch it through apps or OTT or whatever they can put their hands on. Of course, I think the big shift is that they no longer accept scheduled TV content unless there's a big reason for it, unless it's a big sports event or big news event or a big whatever, something that they need to talk to their friends as they are watching it or after they watch it. Interesting results from our own market research in Czech Republic, which is admittedly not the most advanced market in terms of the spread of the digital platforms. We're still quite a traditional market, heavily free to air, but young people watch us, and surprisingly their viewership habits, the genres they watch, are not so different from the older generations. But yeah, I mean, if I knew a master plan, as the saying goes, I wouldn't be here. I would be very rich.
You would be a very rich man.
Be a very rich man.
Very rich man.
On one of these islands, which will be my own. But
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, I think the master plan is actually simple. You have to have great content, which keeps people interested and glued to whatever screen they watch, big, small,
they don't care,
scheduled,
they just want the
unscheduled.
content. Yeah.
You have to be ready for a paradigm shift in distribution, because for sure it's not going to be the same as it is now. And that's really it, I think.
We spoke earlier. I asked you, I told you that I'm going to ask you about the future of linear television, that everybody's been saying for the last couple of years, no, TV is dead, and you said the ultimate truth, really, that as long as you have content, the TV is gonna stay.
Yes. And again, these are pretty obvious things to say. I'm certainly not the first person to say that content is king, but it is true. It is true. The big question, I think, is will the young people of today keep their viewer habits or the viewership habits when they grow old, or will they get more lazy and just be content with switching the box on and watching what somebody else has scheduled for them? I have no clue, frankly. But in fact, as a public broadcaster, we have a bit of a luxury not to care so much because we're not financed by advertising.
Yes.
Advertising is the big issue, because to monetize the non-linear channels in the same way as the linear channels have been monetized for many years is still a big challenge and hasn't been quite solved, I think.
But you think that in 10 years' time, you and I will still have our jobs? Yes.
Let me say that in 10 years' time, I hope
I
don't have a job. I'm gardening and bringing up my grandchildren.
Well then, see you in 5 years here.
See.
You'll still be employed.
Maybe.
Thank you very much. Thank you.